welcome, my Mercurial mercenaries. This isn't a vital video for you to watch. This is a case of me walking in here, going like that and thinking of something to say. I've been watching Netflix, or rather I've been looking at the Netflix menu and looking at all the new releases and scrolling down, scrolling sideways, scrolling down and sideways, scrolling down again, scrolling sideways. Oh look, there's RoboCop. Look to my left hand side and on my shelf is a Blu-ray of RoboCop. Scrolling around a bit more. Oh look, there's Jaws. Jaws is on there. I've got Jaws just over there on Blu-ray. Look a little bit more. There's another film that I've got over there. It's streaming over here. I've got it physically over here. We've got to the point where even if I own it physically in a really good format, I'll stream it. Because to walk over there and open a DVD case or a Blu-ray case and get a disc out and turn the PS4 on and then faff around with the menu system, turning it on, making sure the controller's charged. So we've got to the point in time where I think art, media in general, is now convenience is the prime factor. If I could have a tattoo right now, I wouldn't have a dragon covering my back. I'd have the word convenience. And I wouldn't even hide it down here somewhere. I'd put it across my forehead. So then I look around this room and I see two metal boxes down there full of vinyl records from the time when I was doing my Discovers and the channel was doing that before we crashed and burned collectively. And again, we're in an age where I talk about streaming as being what everyone's aiming for, the epitome, the goal, because of convenience. Give me convenience or give me death. But I look round here and I've got physical media. So then we're back to that age-old question of why do idiots like me buy vinyl? And we've discussed this before. I think it's the fact that because we live in an age of convenience and streaming, no one can listen to anything for more than 20 seconds. I find myself doing it, and I'm an advocate for listening to a whole album, all right? But I find myself doing it. I'll stream. I've got speakers in the bathroom now. I can listen to stuff, and I'll stream something, like a couple of songs in. I'll switch albums. I'll have a bath and I'll think, oh, I could listen to the whole of War of the Worlds now. It's what I dreamt of since I was a kid. Imagine owning a bathroom where you could lie in a bath and listen to music coming down at you from above. I can lie there in bubbles listening to War of the Worlds, and I think, what a brilliant idea. I press play. No one would have believed in the last years of the 19th century that human affairs were being watched from the skip. No, I've had enough. I can't be listening to that in here. And so, therefore, there is still, I know we're repeating ourselves again, there's still something to be said for taking a piece of plastic. No, I don't do it. I only do it when I'm doing videos for you. Look at it. It's just a dumping ground for a book, Radio Times, that I was going to do a video about the Beatles about, but never got round to it because I'm probably going to just quit it all. Quit. But when you do choose, even if it's just for a video, when you do choose to listen to some vinyl, this requires concentration. It requires 40 to 45 minutes of your time. And because you have to go to the effort and put it on and turn it over halfway, you get a beer, you put AC/DC on, you sit back in your chair. It is different. It is different to streaming. Weirdly, it's the same music. It's exactly the same music. Technically, theoretically, if I play Highway to Hell streaming it in the house, or if I put the record on, and yet the fact that it's a different format makes the listening experience different. Now, is it the same music? Because I've had this record here just sort of lying next to me for the past few weeks. And the reason I chose this topic today was because I sat here, I was messing around with intros and music and stuff for the channel. Do I quit? Do I carry on? Oh, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Even I don't give a fuck anymore. But I saw this album and I thought, this is a big deal because we've talked about this album before on a totally different review that I probably unlisted. But this piece of cardboard and plastic has been with me my entire life. No matter where I've lived, I've brought this with me. This is more than just music. This is a piece of my life. You can't say that about ones and zeros streaming. You don't even own streamed music. You kind of rent it, you license it. They can take it off of you any moment. Even going back a few years when a lot of you used to download things. I used to download things. You downloaded it in the wrong format or in a rubbish file size. Everything keeps changing. You keep upgrading. Chuck your records away, buy CDs, download all your CDs onto upload them onto your computer, but you upload them in the wrong file. So I'll try and I can upload them in 128 kilobits a second. Yeah, brilliant. That was a good idea, wasn't it? I own this record. I own this music. Yes, might have played it, but I own it. I don't rent it. I don't license it. I'll have this forever. I will have this album forever. Well, I should do. Unless I smash it like I nearly did then while I'm waving my arms around. I'll have this record forever. It's a piece of my life. It's a piece of my life. I was reading these words on this very same piece of cardboard before I was even 10 years old. I don't know what I was. I think I started reading. I'm quite clever. I started reading when I was about 2. But, I mean, how many times have I flipped through this book? How many times have I looked at these pictures? How many times have I read, Rick Wakeman thanking his dog? I don't know is the answer. That was all rhetorical. And then when we say it's the same music, right? If you listen to Fragile by Yes now, because you can all stream it anytime you want to, right? What you're hearing isn't what I'm hearing. This version of Fragile has been worn down by a piece of metal for 40 years. This will sound different to anything you listen to. I own this. This is the only version of Fragile that sounds like this. This is my version of Fragile. This is my Mercurial number 6 version of Fragile. This is mine. This isn't yours. This is mine. This is mine. This. And there's plenty of people out there who don't ever want to go back to this. I'm not sure this is a good idea either. I've got metal boxes that weigh a ton just full of really expensive vinyl that I don't listen to. But this. No, it doesn't have to be a record. It could be a CD, whatever. A CD of The Tallest Man on Earth, Dark Bird Is Home, which I still haven't opened. But this is why I fell in love with music. I'm not sure. Those of you who are into your ones and zeros and would counter my argument pro vinyl. Can you fall in love? So you do. You tell me all the time. You guys tell me that you're in love with music as well. I'm not the only person who can be in love with music. You're all in love with music. Would I have fallen in love with music if it didn't exist? If it was just ones and zeros when I was a kid? Even when it was on like a pirated cassette tape, it still had the little label on it that I wrote Metallica and Justice for All and couldn't fit the writing on. And Justice, ... Go to the shop, buy CD singles. Hold Oasis's first album. Hold Oasis's second album. Hold it. Lick it. Now, what's music now? It's just... There you go. Physical media. Right, well, I'll go and scroll through the Netflix menu again for a few hours and then get drunk and go to bed. Over and